Accident Man. Hitman's Holiday is a sequel to Accident Man, a sort of, I'm not sure if it's a direct-to-video, but it's a direct-to-video level budget action movie starring Scott Adkins as Mike Fallon, the Accident Man. He is a professional assassin who only comes up with interesting ways to kill people to make it look like an accident. So it's a homage to The Mechanic with Charles Bronson, but a little bit of John Wick universe thrown in with the way they introduce fellow assassins and their methods. In the first film, Mike, his girlfriend was killed and he wants revenge. So in the sequel, he decides to move to Europe in order to continue all the onslaught of continuing to kill people, and there's a lot of business booming. He bumps into an old friend of his and the two of them hit it off. However, his friend is kidnapped by a very dangerous gangster. She wants him to protect her son, who's a bit of a bellend, and he now has to become a bodyguard of sorts. So now he's got to protect instead of kill, and he's got to deal with some characters from the first film too who have come back to finish the score. So I really enjoyed Accident Man 1, and the second one's pretty solid. This one is not directed by Jesse V. Johnson. It's got a different director, pair of brothers. So the action's a little bit different, but the fight scenes are still pretty solid. There was some janky moments with an explosion in an early fight scene that looked really bad because the budget's limited. They should probably stick to just martial arts in this movie if they can't do realistic explosions, because the CGI one looks really fake. But they introduce a whole onslaught of new assassins for Mike to fight, and he's also got this sort of Pink Panther kind of style deal going on with a woman named Su Ling. She's supposed to ambush him once a week, and he pays her to fight to help him train and stuff, so she shows up too to help. And there's a pretty decent amount of action in this movie, pretty solid character development, and it definitely is a solid sequel to the first film. The only thing I felt was probably the worst part was probably the son character, the son of the gangster. He's so over the top and whiny that he doesn't feel like a real person. Even the most spoiled brat would not be screaming at the person trying to save your life or putting yourself in danger, walking into danger, doing all this dangerous stuff and whining that much. So he doesn't feel like a real character. He feels really like a caricature, so he kind of brings down the whole movie. But the action's pretty solid, and the side characters are fun, and some world building for, it's a really fun kind of like movie that doesn't take itself too serious. The movie also plays up the whole machismo aspect, so characters don't just run into a room and just shoot each other. Sometimes they like to posture, they like to brag about beating up someone else. They don't always want to kill you. The killers in this movie, they do it for money, but they won't just kill, unfairly or in the back. They'll want to take you on in a head-on fight, and there's still a sense of honor among killers, which I really liked, so that adds to the martial arts aspect. So Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday is pretty solid for a sequel, and I give it a 6.5 out of 10.